Welcome to the Fabulous podcast, where we discuss all things fibromyalgia. Done by not a complete idiot, but some parts are missing or just not working properly.
Hello and welcome. Some parts are missing, alright? Today, that is my voice. As you can hear, my voice is isn't perfect. Things are a bit different today. Normally I'm sitting at the table and record there, but today I decided to take it all on the couch because I'm just still not feeling well, as you can hear. And I also would normally use my PlayStation headset because it's very comfortable and noise cancelling. But I also just got a new piercing about 2 weeks ago in my ear. It's called an industrial. For people who don't know what it is, it goes from your ear conch, like from the one side to the other, like a spear through your ear. So from the back of your ear to the front, it also can go up and down. But I just decided to go for the standard one. I want to have that one for years. But the downside of that is right now I cannot wear my headset because it's still too sensitive. So things are a bit different. Notifications are popping up on my laptop. So yeah, still having this freaking cold in these days, especially because if you're already dealing with fibromyalgia like me, right? I'm dealing with fibromyalgia, with asthma, diabetes type 2, and on top of that you get a cold. It's bad, right? And I'm dealing with this cold for we're going into the 3rd month, so absolutely great. I am not recovering at the moment. I'm not recovering. It's getting worse. I'm losing my voice. And I realize I need to make some changes in my life. And one of them is taking a little bit of time off from my job. I requested the vacation days that I have left, and hopefully I can take them as soon as possible. I'm also trying to take good care of myself. Like this weekend I made a meal for myself with a lot of vegetables. This morning I took just a second, I will turn down the notifications on my phone because otherwise I will get distracted. So I make myself the same breakfast I do every day, right? I do. If you're not following me on Instagram, maybe on Instagram you have seen it come by, but it's like oatmeal with a ton of fruit, some milk and some protein powder, and usually some granola to taste. I do that because then my mornings start good. You know, I have my fiber, I have my vitamins, and I have my protein. So to set me up for a good day, basically. The good start of the day is the most important one. Even if you don't eat breakfast because you are not hungry, the first meal of your day is the most important. So don't start with something, like a cookie or some fries or anything like that. I know that's easier, and some people say, oh yeah, I don't like breakfast, so they don't eat at 8 o'clock, but then at 10 o'clock they get something unhealthy from the cafeteria at the job, or they go to the Starbucks and get a sugary coffee with something else, and you can start your day better than that. Come on. So a good start of your day makes all the difference, right? Especially if you're not feeling well, then it's so important to take care of yourself. I know I talked about that last time as well, but I keep hammering on that thing. Because especially us with fibromyalgia, we're perfectionistic and we want to take care of anybody else. And the most difficult thing we can do is to take care of ourselves, right? Because it's not in our DNA, I want to say. It's not in our standard programming, right? So I will keep telling you, I will keep reminding you to take good care of yourself, and especially when you're not feeling well, right? These podcasts are not scripted. I just turn on my laptop and my microphone, plug in my headset, and then I'm going, right? I just start talking. And why do I do that? Because then I have no limitation of what to talk about. And sometimes something will pop up, and sometimes I will just address the same subject because sometimes it's necessary, not only for myself, but also for the people around me. That's what the thing I see most with people that also not only have chronic pain, but just people that tend to people please, right? I have to remind them, it's nice you're taking so much care of other people, but please take care of yourself. So This is another reminder for you to do that. So yeah, I got a new piercing, and if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen a story about it, that I got it like Wednesday 2 weeks ago, and it's healing good. Of course, with fibromyalgia, you could experience some more pain, but the pain for me is normal. I have multiple piercings. I have one helix, one in my other ear, so on the top end of your ear. I have some earrings, like 4 of them, 2 on each side. And I have one in my nose. And I used to have one in my eyebrow, but that one grew out, so I had to take it out before I would have a permanent piece of my eyebrow missing, basically. So yeah, this is my most recent one, and I'm very happy with it. It's one that I wanted to take like for years. Every time I saw that industrial piercing with other people, I was like, it looks so freaking cool, right? I wanted to have it too. I thought about it for a long time. Of course, you need to save up some money because I'm gonna do it professionally. If I do those kinds of things, I will not do it like we would say in the Netherlands by Jan the farmer, right? We would do it with somebody that is professional, because especially if you're prone to a lot of infections and just in general, these things, there's a reason that people take education for it and stuff. And I'm sorry if I'm out of breath. I just realized that I forgot to take my medicine, my asthma medication. So that's another thing. My brain is like poof, it's not working with me. Yesterday they had to get the bolt cutters in the gym for me. I went to Circle Mobility, and I put my bag with the key in the locker when I locked my locker. So they had to get the bolt cutters and get my bag out. Yeah, that happened. So I'm gonna take my medication for a minute, and then I'll be right back. All right, here we go again. I'm back from taking my medication, so hopefully the panting in the microphone will be a little bit less now. I just realized, I'm like, why am I out of breath? Oh, wait. And that's the thing, right? Of course I have ADD, but with the fibro fog, just the missiness that you can have in your brain because of the pain or because you're having a cold, or it doesn't matter what, right? It can be so bad, and sometimes it goes along with a lot of shame. People making comments like, yeah, but I can do this. And in the past I would take a lot of offense, and it still hurts when people say that, yeah, I can do it, so why can't you? But now I realize, like, I'm not you. Okay, congratulations that you can do that in that state of mind. What do you want now? A gold medal, a sticker in the form of a star, Nice that you can do it. I can't. And that's totally fine because I am not you. And that's the mindset that I am trying to live by. It doesn't always work. Still, sometimes somebody says something to me and I still break down. Because it's not that I don't want to do it. I just can't. Or the way that they want me to do it, it doesn't work for me, right? So I need to find my own way. And yesterday when getting the personnel of the gym, like walking up to them, like doing the shame walk, right? And I know I'm not the only one that this happens to, because I've seen them walk around with the bolt cutter more than once. So I'm not the only person. They have a bolt cutter for this purpose. So I am not the only one this happens to. And the person at the personnel, I was talking to them in Dutch, because of course I live in the Netherlands. Then they told me their Dutch wasn't that good. So if I could talk in English, and I conversate a lot in English. I mean, I'm doing this podcast in English. My English is not bad, right? And I'm standing there, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to explain this in English? I just didn't know anymore. And just those times when your brain just gives up on you and doesn't perform how you want it to perform, but it can, that's so fucking frustrating. And sometimes there's just a lot to deal with, just the shame that you should be able to do it and you're smart enough to do it, and just your brain decides to, fuck you, I don't work today, And that sucks. That just sucks. And not everybody understands that, right? But I was with my friend, And we were able to get a laugh out of it, because the moment that it happened, I was talking to her, right? And I don't blame her for anything, because it was my distraction, not hers. But I put my bag in the locker. It's a bag with a yoga mat in it, because I was doing circle mobility, which is a class for mobility, and you're doing some yoga-like exercise. So I take my mat. I never put my mat in that locker, because I need my mat, right? So I can safely put my key in that bag, because it doesn't go in the locker. And I don't know why, but for some reason, I put that back into my locker. And I'm like, why? Why did I do that? And sometimes you just need to accept that your brain did that and not try to understand why, because you're not going to find the answer, right? That's also the thing that I noticed, that I'm not recovering. I am forgetting more things. I just have my water bottle in my hands and I'm doing something, and then all of a sudden my water bottle is gone. I don't search for it anymore, because if I search for it, I get frustrated and I will get mad. And all of a sudden, it's there, right? In a place that I tried to search for it like a couple of times. So now I just like, okay, if I can't find my bottle, I will just get a glass. Fuck you, water bottle. I will see you later. I don't search for things anymore. I just don't. And it gives me a lot more peace of mind, especially when my mind is already flustered. I don't need to clutter it up with frustration, right? You can get so mad on yourself and angry on yourself, and that's not good for your mindset. It's not good for your self-esteem. And it's not that you can do anything about it, right? It's your body, your brain, just not working the way it's supposed to, and like, what else can you do, right? It's not your fault. That's what I want you to understand. It's absolutely not your fault. You just need another way to deal with it. The same if you're not sleeping, because my body does a new thing. It wakes up at 5 a.m. to go to the toilet, because then I need to pee. And then after that, I don't sleep anymore, even in the weekends. So on top of everything else that's going on right now, I'm also not getting enough sleep. That I am functioning for some reason is a fucking miracle, right? So I just deal with that. I'm like, okay, then I'm not going to sleep. I'm just going to rest then. And that's something I picked up when I couldn't sleep because of a lot of pain. And if you have fibromyalgia too, I'm sure you can relate about not sleeping because of the pain. But the thing is, the more you fight that, the more you will struggle with it. And if you begin to accept, like, okay, I'm not going to sleep anyway, let me just rest my body then. So go do something that does rest your body, but entertains your mind a little bit, you know? So, for example, by listening to some music that calms you down, or by listening to a podcast, or reading a book, watching your favorite show. Just make sure that your body is resting. That's the only thing you can do. So you can fight those things, but you cannot change what's not going to change. So deal with it in another way. The same way as that with the perfectionism. In the past, I wouldn't have recorded a podcast like this, with my voice sounding like this, because I want it to be perfect, right? My pronunciation is not always perfect. I sometimes stumble over my words, because with fibromyalgia you can also have speech problems. So this doesn't only happen in English for me. This happens for me in Dutch as well. Only a little bit less, because I then don't need to think as much about my words as I do in English, although my English is pretty fluent, I must say. That's why I just leave it in the podcast as well. You know, the big struggles, of course, I cut out, because it also needs to be nice to listen to, because nobody is listening. If you go like, you know, nobody's listening to that. But like the little imperfection I leave in now, because that's who I am. I'm not perfect, and people can see that. I'm not afraid anymore of people seeing my imperfections, or in this case, hearing my imperfections. I'm not a perfect person, and who wants to be? That sounds exhausting, right? And if you're a perfectionist, you know that is exhausting. Let loose. Let it go. Let it go. With the grit on my voice, I can make it a metal song now. But I'm not much of a singer, but that doesn't mean I don't sing once in a while, you know, for myself. It brings me a lot of joy, so... But anywho, we're getting off of track. This is what I mean, you know? To be okay with not being perfect, it was a big thing for me. And it just, the little things that you can do to bring yourself peace of mind that everybody says that are little things, they are not so little, are they? They're quite big things. And they're quite difficult to do. But you know what it is? You know why there are so many groups of fibromyalgia people that are sulking in their misery. Because that's easier. Not that their life is easier, but it's easier in the moment. And that's something that my coach, Luke Mindpower, always said. If you do what's hard, your life will be easier. But if you do what's easier, your life will become harder. And that's the thing, you know. We always think that I can do this right now. I will leave it for tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes around and you're like, fuck, why didn't I do this yesterday? So yeah, yesterday, did I feel like going to the gym? Absolutely not. I was awake since 5 a.m. It sucked, right? And this is why it's so important to have good people around you. Because my friend, I made an appointment with her to go to that class. And that's one of the people pleaser hacks, you know. I didn't want to disappoint my friend. So I went. And you know what she told me when we were cycling to the gym? She had the exact same thing. She didn't want to go, but she went because I went. We motivated each other. You think that the people that are around you, that their mindset doesn't matter as much. Because, you know, love and all. Love isn't enough, guys. You need people with the right mindset around you to motivate you. And if you don't have that around you, that's why I am here. That's why I'm making this podcast. So I can be that person for you, to motivate each other. So to make today easier for me, because I know it's gonna be hard because I have to work in the afternoon. It's the hardest thing for me. Working in the afternoon is twice as hard as working in the morning. So what did I do yesterday? Yesterday before I went to the gym, because I was up early anyway, I did 2 bulks of laundry. I washed them, I hang them up. I went to the gym because I know if I didn't go, my knees would start to complain. So I would have extra pain today. I went grocery shopping, got myself a nice ready-to-go meal for tonight. It's a vegan meal, I think. Pre-prepared, it's frozen. I can just put it in a pan tonight and fry it with some oil, right? And then I'm done. Yes, it was very, very hard to do that yesterday. And I really didn't want to do that. But I pushed myself to make it better for me today. So the only thing I needed to do today is to wash my hair, record a podcast, and work. Because otherwise I had to do the laundry, do the grocery shopping, do some exercise, and then go to work. Because at the end of the day, I'm done. So today has become a whole of a lot easier than it was yesterday. And I'm glad I did. Because today I feel worse than I did yesterday. But because we have fibromyalgia, we tend to have these days that we feel a little bit better. And then we try to do everything in that day. Don't do that. Don't become black and white. Yes, if you feel better, do a little bit more. But if you do feel worse, do a little bit less. Not nothing, but less. Just what you can handle. You know, and that's how I do everything. When I didn't have help in my house, I didn't clean my whole house in one go. I cleaned room by room. And not even the whole thing, right? I would dust one day and then vacuum another. And I did that with my whole house. Now, I don't have a big house, okay? I just have a 1-bedroom apartment. But still, why has everything to be done in one go? Who told you that? That you needed to do that? Because we don't think about that, right? The same with the dishes. I don't have a dishwasher or anything, so I have to do it all by myself. Who told you you cannot let the dishes dry in a drying rack? Who told you you have to dry them and put them in the closet right away? Why? Because it looks better? Okay, but I don't feel better. The way I feel is far more important than how my house looks. And, you know, if I've adopted this attitude by, if somebody doesn't like it, they know where the door is, or they will get a cleaning cloth and they can do it themselves. It's my fucking house. If you don't like it, go. Or clean it up yourself if you think you can do a better job. I have to live here, not you. And yeah, that sounds a little bit mean and selfish. But you know, sometimes you have to become a little bit more selfish to please yourself instead of everybody else. So yeah, become selfish. And if you are a people pleaser, it will feel selfish. It's not, it's self-care. But we have been conditioned to think that everything we do for ourselves is selfish. It's not. Because if we are doing better, if we are feeling better, we can give more to other people and the people around you. So eventually it's better for everyone if you take care of yourself. So that's all I have for you today. If you like this podcast, leave a good review, leave a 5 stars, it depends on where you're watching. And also, if you have questions about any subject, about how I'm dealing with things, or if you just want to talk to me, send me a message, leave a comment. I will react to you. And you can see that, especially on my YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it because there is no video, you will see my sister react to my YouTube. I react to her. I can speak with her through my phone. But no. Why does she do that? She leaves a comment because she thinks my podcast is valuable. And this is how she shows her support to me. And she has fibromyalgia too. So if that says anything, you should trust her. Also, if you have, if you want me to tackle a subject or something, or if you want to be on my podcast, have a conversation with me in real time, be my guest. Literally, be my guest. I would love to talk to you. Have a conversation. I want this to be a place of inspiration where we can inspire each other. That this will be a fibromyalgia group where we inspire each other to do better instead of sulking in our own misery and become this marinating soup of despair. We don't like that here. And if you're listening to this podcast, you probably don't either. Please don't be scared to reach out, and I will happily have a conversation with you or reply to you. So take care of yourself. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.